Hey, this is another take of my video regarding Log4Shell and my vulnerability testing that I've done here in my lab, kind of. Um, so basically, I'll explain Log4j first. Log4j is a logging library that is used in a lot of Java programs, and it was discovered back in December 2021 that there was a severe security vulnerability regarding it that allows remote code execution by anyone who wants to do it, and it's pretty easy to do, all things considered. I'll jump over to, I have three, the basic setup for this is that I have three machines. Now, they're not actual computers, they're virtual machines, two of them. And this just allows me to test a lot easier. I have an attacker Kali virtual machine, Kali Linux, and I have my host Windows virtual machine, not a virtual machine, it's just a regular machine. It's just there basically to run Minecraft easy. And then I have a target Windows machine. I can show you those. Here's the attacker machine. It's the Kali Linux virtual machine, just standard off-the-shelf Kali Linux. And on it, I have two major things running. I have MarshallSec up here, and I have a HTTP server down here. So basically, the way this exploit works is that whenever you log something in an older version of Log4j, it's sometimes helpful to log things that you need to get from the network, like a username. And so they built in this LDAP referring feature to Log4j. And it's exploitable in that I can redirect it from where it was supposed to go into an HTTP server to get code that it wants to run. And I can do that all through the in-game chat. You'll see that in a minute. It's pretty bad. On my main Windows computer here, I just have OBS because I'm recording, and then I have Minecraft. The only reason it's here is to run Minecraft. That's the only thing. Oh, and it hosts Quasar. Quasar is a remote access Trojan. It allows me to control the victim Windows machine. It's just really to show how bad it is, how bad this vulnerability is. Then over in the guest Windows machine, this one here, there are three things that are wrong with this Windows machine. It has an old version of PaperMC, it has an old version of Java, and Windows Defender is turned off. So you can see I'm using Paper 1.8.8 build 443. That's available on Paper's website. You can get that. You have to go to the legacy downloads. And then you can see down here I'm using Java 1.8 build 112. I think you can go one build higher than that, but I'm not quite sure. This is the one I have testing working right now. So really don't even need these terminals. Windows is up to date and everything else. This is just a bog standard Windows machine, except it has Defender off, an old version of Java, and an old version of PaperMC. Yep, you can see Defender's turned off here. And really, I've had this working with Defender on before. It's just that the payloads are less complex. So we're going to go ahead and join the server on my main Windows here. I already have it programmed in. And basically, we're going to send a malicious string to the server. Yep, here we're logged in. We're going to send a malicious string in the chat for the server to log and execute some code. So we are going to send JNDI LDAP 192.168.0.158 or port 1389, and then slash log4jrce, and then I realized I forgot to put this. Okay, so long story short, what this code does is the log4j library is going to log this string, because you log everything everyone says in chat. So it's going to log this string, but in the old version of log4j that I'm using, it will interpret this to reach out to an LDAP server at 192.168.0.158 port 1389 what it's supposed to be doing is getting something to log, but instead it's going to pull down this log4j RCE file that I have hosted on this HTTP server. So without further ado, I'll put you back over on the Kali VM, and then I will run this command. Okay, so whenever I run it, you're going to see two things. You're going to see the top say that it's referring LDAP to the HTTP server, and you're going to see four requests on the HTTP server. You're going to see two for receiving log4j.rce.class, which is basically just compiled Java code, and you're going to see two for quasar-installer.exe. So I'm going to hit it in 3, 2, 1, go. Yep, you can see here on the Kali VM we sent LDAP reference to 192.168.5.8, yeah, all that jazz. So basically, log4j asked this where to go, asked the Kali server where to go to log things, and it told it to head to the HTTP server and get this code and run it. And it ran this malicious code. So now I can actually show you, right now it should be installing the Quasar client. One weird thing about this exploit that I haven't really been able to find an explanation for is why it does it twice. It only logs it once. I guess the general consensus is it puts it once in the terminal window and gets processed, and then another time when it logs it. So we're not really sure. But anyway, I can show you why this works. So you can see I have a bunch of files being served here. You can ignore these three actually. There's only these three that matter. So if I just real quick cat log4j rce.java, you can see the Java code that I'm running. I quite literally copy pasted this from a website. I know jack squat about Java, but basically I don't know what that does. And what it's going to do is this is the big command right here. This basically means computer execute this. And I'm going from CMD to a PowerShell with this, and then all this nonsense here is all this nonsense here is an encoded PowerShell command, and I can show you what the encoded PowerShell command means. It just basically wants to download a executable. How can I do that? Okay. Yeah. I stole this tool and some of this code. I know a little bit of PowerShell, so I half wrote this myself, but basically what it does is this is a debug line that just helps me know if it ran. Then it invokes a GET request to 192.168.0.158 port 8000. That's the HTTP server on the Kali virtual machine, and asks for quasar-client.exe, and then it exits. Or no, it gets that, and then it starts the process. So it starts the Quasar installer. And then basically that gets encoded into base 64 so that first of all, it's less easy to detect if you're like a malware developer. I'm just doing this for educational purposes. And also it lets me run it as one big command instead of a PowerShell script. Saves an extra step. So then we can see on the main machine here, if I pull up Quasar, again, Quasar is nasty stuff. Do not do this to anyone. But Quasar has phoned home from the victim machine. And so you can see that it's phoned in here, and I can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. The first thing I'll demonstrate is the remote desktop, probably the scariest thing. So as you can see, I have a remote desktop shell from the Windows virtual machine. This is exactly what's being shown on my other monitor here. See, that's a direct capture from the Windows machine, and this is what I'm seeing. I can also integrate the mouse with it, so like I can just drag Windows around at will. And here I can even show you it from the perspective of the Windows machine. Whoops. Yeah, I can just drag Windows around. I can issue keystrokes. Will that work? Yeah, that works. And so I can just open up a command line, do whatever the heck I want, because I now own this computer. And from here I could do all sorts of crazy stuff, like I could exfiltrate data, I could shut it down at will. I can actually show you that. So we go back to Quasar. Quasar has all this nasty stuff in it. What is this? Whatever. So Quasar basically is nasty malware, but you could change this exploit to do anything, is what I'm trying to say. Is I've had it open up Notepad. I've seen people exfiltrate data with it, steal player IPs. It's nasty stuff. I know my explanation was pretty quick and not very beginner friendly, or heck, maybe not even very expert friendly. I probably butchered some of these terms, but yeah, if you have any questions, ask me. I'll see if I can get them solved. It honestly took me a long time to get this worked. Thanks for watching, unless you're future Cade, in which case, curse you. Alright, that's it.